You actually may be familiar with this kind of graph, right? You actually start to grow, but linear is also until a certain point it actually starts again and again, right? And this period, right, is actually called the valley of despair. It's not something that a lot of people enjoy. No one's enjoyed it, and this is actually the time that you actually practice and that probably no one sees, right? And yeah, today I'm gonna explain you why you're hitting you know the plateau, the performance plateau, and actually how to get better through it is not something that you know you can delete it, but you actually shorter it, right? You can actually shorter it and make it shorter, right? So there are three main steps that I just want to talk about with you today. The first one is actually the misconception between grinding versus being intentional, right? Extremely important. Grinding is about just putting the reps and being blind, having blindfold between you and what I'm doing, just putting the reps. And being intentional instead is about working hard, but at the end of the session or the workout, understand what actually work. And even if something really extremely simple like a 5 minutes journaling, a 3 minutes journaling, wherever it is, actually intentionally think about it, right? The next time that you're gonna have another training session, just spend 1 minute or even 5 minutes to think, what actually you need to improve, right? This is the simple way, the most simple way to, actually being intentional about it. Not just, the period of, one workout, but it could be of one season, right? This is a season, but it can be of multiple seasons, 3 seasons, 5 seasons, and so on and so forth, right? There's multiple variables, but you know the simple ways that I can describe it, that being intentional is far way more productive, right? And the first thing that I just want to talk about this is why actually this beats every time being intentional, right? Grinding 40 hours grind versus let's say 25 to 40 intentional. This one beats every time the grinding, right? Every single time, right? So the bad thing is not just about doing stuff, but the bad habits that you actually gain from this, right? If you are just blindfold and don't reflect, I mean, don't think about intentionally what you're going to do, you are just going to have mental feedback loops. Bad habits, so bad mental thoughts, right? I considering that our thoughts at the end of the day determines what our mind, how our mind works, right? That is going to determine bad performances, right? That's actually not what we want. And at the same time, you have to be really clear, crystal clear on is it about a skill plateau, right? Or is actually is actually a burnout, right? Actually a burnout or a skill plateau, because at the end of the day, skill plateaus, as I said before, happens for everyone, for every single person. It's not just about sports. Or are you just fucking tired of what you're doing, right? That's very simple. So the second thing I just want to talk about you is deliberate play. So deliberate play, actually done a video about it, and is the way how we are gonna deny burnout, right? We don't want burnout. We actually make our game a game, right? That's why they're called game, right? That's actually we're playing it. So the replay is about spontaneity, add spontaneity in what they're doing in the practice, add fun, and essentially make it more enjoyable, more gamifiable, right? It's about having fun with what you do, with adding spontaneity is one thing, right? If you're always used to do the same exact things, it's very likely that you're gonna burn out, right? Just add a little action or remove one action. If you actually see that through times and times, it's inevitable that you're gonna burn out. But if you add just a little bit things every time, it's inevitable that you are gonna enjoy it. So as I was saying, it's about fun, enjoying, and also actually it accelerates the learning process, right? When you're having fun and enjoying what you're doing, and you're excited what you're doing, you actually learn way more, 10 times way more faster, and everything you know feels like walking on a cloud. When you're burnt out, it feels like you're working on the charcoal at you know 200 degrees. So it's too much to handle, especially in the everyday, right? And very practical ways. So practical actions, right? Yeah, like also takes care of the score, like play with the score. If you want to make, in a match or wherever it is, like in fencing or in basketball, wherever it is, you have a specific number of score that you want to make, play with it. Adjust with 4% more, not too much, not too low. 4% is actually the best, right? And play, have fun, and change environment, change the way the place that you're doing your usual work as. Sometimes it's good, and doesn't mean that you have to change club or whatever, but train in another place, in a park, or in another place that make you more excited of doing the stuff, right? And there are, I want to talk about also the feedback loop, right? So the grinding feedback loop is about actually engaging with feedback and data about what we have gone through, right? The most simple way I can describe it is us having an input, doing some kind of process, right, and having an output, and that's actually our environment. This is actually a feedback loop, right? So the feedback could be, I actually try to shoot 10 times from the last line of the basketball court, and I tried 30 times, and the output, that was the process, right? And then the output was one in and 29 out. This is extreme, but it's just to make you understand that we need, in order to have an output of of 30 out of 30, that is the maximum, we actually have to think clear about this, right? This is the feedback loop, this thing, right? So what actually you actually, how we actually did it, how we actually need to improve in order to make 30, right? Listen to your coach, listen to what the other in the same industry says, right? You don't have, especially if they're telling you specific stuff in the specific moment, just listen very carefully about that, because 98% of the time that is true. So listen to that. So adjust with data. It's not about just going through the motions, or just what the movement says, right? And the last part is about non-stimulating recovery, right? In order to hit this part and make it shorter, recovery, non-stimulating recovery. So what I mean by so is doing everything that your body makes more, that feels way more better than before after practice, right? So the way we learn is through the myelin in our nervous system that gets way more abundant. There's more myelin, right? Tell you. So not stimulating recovery is about understanding that the true training is also about the time that you spend on a cold plunge, on a sauna, or whatever it is that make your body rest, and actually make new neural connection, and make you improving. So I'm actually looking to 5 ambitious athletes who are hungry and actually want to implement this stuff in order to break through the plateau, in order to actually being the best in the industries. So as I was saying before, I'm actually looking for 5 of them, wherever nation you are. The most important thing is that we can communicate through that, and just click the link down below in order to book a free chat with me, and we can see the main bottleneck in your performance. See you on the next one.